I have long lost count of the days and nights that have circled these skies. But I recall the weight of each and every life given birth.
The flesh granted to Sky Dwellers was brittle, fleeting. Death walked hand in hand with life, and it was the destiny of all to one day meet their end. These ends were her domain, and she had faithfully stood watch over them all. However, as one so long lived, she felt lesser beings had scarcely learned to breathe when last they exhaled. With each life extinguished, a new blaze would spark into being as nature dictated. But for the lives that burned brightest, their hopes, dreams, and emotions would return to the skies, gathering at the wedges themselves. Mortals, with their command of language, proffered the most vivid wishes. Their influence doubtlessly caused the surviving wedges to manifest in forms strongly resembling Sky Dwellers.
Ever have we witnessed your mortal passions? Courage, love, wrath, innocence, arrogance, fear.
Amid the countless mortal drives, the one that plucked at the Dark Dragon's heartstrings the most was curiosity.
There is no greater joy than the moment the unknown becomes known. This pleasure was not originally part of my purview, but once I awoke and formed this manifestation, finally I could taste the complexities of the mortal heart.
The Dark Dragon was certain that the Singularity's awakening had stirred the skies. First, the Dragon of Judgment roared. Then the wedges awoke, manifesting draconic forms to administer the Singularity their trials. They soon learned they could not understand the children of man through the crossing of fang and blade alone, and thus took mortal forms.
Yes, it's much faster to sate one's curiosity with an exchange of words.
She flashed her audience a guileless grin. The hour of change had come, thunderous and shattering, when the 6 dragons came to know courage. The true dragon Lindworm, in a sky unmarked and unknown, had awoken with a resounding roar. Its body formed from the fabric of the skies, and its scales a reflection of everlasting resplendence, Lindworm was the nearest existence to the 6 dragons. And it had appeared before the young Singularity to cast judgment.
Blemish on the canvas. You who beckon calamity from the depths.
The skies could not escape the far-reaching reverberations of their battle, and thus roused the wedges from their slumber. Forming manifestations of flesh and bone, they arrived in the Sky Realm. Wilnus, the Vermilion. Wamdus, the Azure. Galleon, the Gold. Awiar, the Emerald. Luwo, the White. And finally, Fediel, the Black. Each harboring their own intentions, the wedges took their stock of the Singularity and thus set causality into motion once more.
Can't you see you're scaring the townsfolk?
He's even more wound up than usual. Did something happen?
Deathmatch! A deathmatch! The ultimate all-out, no-holds-barred deathmatch!
Hunting Ragnalian beasts has been an immense source of enjoyment for Galanza, and with his skills now honed to a fine edge, he seeks to test the fruits of his labors against worthy challengers.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like Galanza.
I might need your help with this one, Captain. Doesn't look like I'll be able to restrain him on my own.
I implore you as well. The stubborn goat needs a good thumping before he'll come to his senses.
The Rafal rep is handling the arrangements. Just name the time. No, better yet, just fight me right here, right now!
Hello there. Here it is.
Brace yourself! You face the one and only Galanza! Let this be a fight to the death!
It's my foot. Ready, yours. Let's do this.
Take this! It's over!
Thanks to the veil. Sure.
Perhaps your last strike was a bit too indulgent.
Fine. I'll be here.
We're through! Storming death!
Thanks.
Spare no quarter!
Not bad.
Hey, go finish!
It's not over yet.
Here, catch! It's over! In twain!
Try it.
Hatch! Eat this!
Let's go.
Yes! Dance for me! Light in the battle!
Dance for me.
Ambition.
Vessel of destruction.
Destroy you.
Nowhere to hide!
It's over!
Shine as one! Ascension!
Let's do this again!
We did it! Quest complete!
Excellently done. Let's see.
I pity you. Thanks.
Break you!
Let's see. Not bad. Let's see. Don't mind if I do. Okay. Well done.
dragon or servant to the god of a new world. The choice is yours.
End of the line! Still in it. Indominus! Not bad. Coming in hot. Not so fast. Let's go.
Seems I miscalculated.
Dust to dust. Full reverse spring. Not bad. Opportunity now. Eat dirt. Eat dirt. Rip through him.
Let the stars align!
Try not to break. Bring it. Sweet destruction. Opportunity knocks.
The nightmare beckons.
Have you made a choice? Fate is ours now.
A decade and some years before the six dragons awakened, they had come to know love. It all began with the tale of a certain sky-faring dyad. This man and woman, accompanied by a vessel of the sky god in the form of a little red dragon, had been leading their crew across the skies on a mission to return primals to their formless origins. During this journey, the woman, a priestess of the sky god, received a divine oracle she could not abide. Her god demanded the return of its vessel, a course which would no doubt destroy the red dragon. The couple could not bear the sacrifice. He had become an irreplaceable part of their lives, so they rejected the sky god's command, thereby changing the nature of their fate. But what of their crew companions who had joined them to subjugate primals? The mission that had originally bound their company was no longer the Dyad's concern, and so they disbanded their crew and set out to challenge the Sky God. It was in the midst of the Dyad's blasphemous journey that they would bring another soul into the skies. Fearing for his wife and their newborn child, the man went on to meet the Sky God in battle alone. After an arduous conflict, he had seized victory. But it was not without cost. Denied its vessel, the Sky God chose another. The Shrine Priestess, who had great affinity with the god, would be its new connection to the skies. She vanished, overtaken by the god's influence, leaving the man in forlorn despair. Dyad ripped in twain, the man had little choice but to return home to Zinkenstill with his infant and the Red Dragon. He sealed the dragon's memories and lived in peace for several years, raising his child, but his beloved wife was ever on his mind. One day he finally set off on a journey to Estelucia in hopes of retrieving her. And of those left behind, the child grew up safe and sound with the Red Dragon and eventually encountered the girl in blue, herself a vessel of the Astral God.
Though I suspect the Wedge of Causality may have had a hand or two in orchestrating that fateful coincidence.
Thus the Dyad, though beset by cruel fate, left in the world the miracle of their joining, a child known as the Singularity. In some sense, this Dyad was no different than any other. By these unions did all lesser beings pass the torch, but the Black Dragon, whose role was to ever gaze upon the ends of things, saw the miracle of persistence in every such joining.
Greetings, everyone. Today I have an important announcement to share. You've been approved by the Alliance to take on more dangerous threats within the Chaos-designated quests.
I knew you guys would produce great results, but I didn't think you'd accomplish things this fast.
Up until now, we've mainly faced mutations of standard monsters. But it might be spreading to primal beasts.
Now that you mention it, it's faint, but I have felt an unfamiliar power mixed in the winds.
Stay vigilant, everyone. We'll keep digging into what's behind the Ragnalia.
The whole skydom feels tense again. We better nip this thing in the bud.
I wonder if Roland's making headway on the conflux front. Too many loose ends left to tie.
When you accept your next mission, do make sure you're fully prepared. We're counting on you. Who's hungry? Everything looks so yummy.
The grub here is delicious. Must be Seed Hollow's worst-kept secret. And speaking of grub, the bloomin' apple fritters look so amazing. Oh boy!
Hi. Excuse me. Sorry to bother you. But you are Skyfarers, right? I need a favor.
Sure, but,
Sorry. Let's start over from the top. Hi there. You can call me Frau.
Wow! You're so pretty!
So what you need?
I'd appreciate if you kept this between us, but... Does Ragnalia mean anything to you?
Wait, are you a Skyfarer too? But you don't look like you're with Rafal.
This is a sensitive matter. I'm asking for your discretion and your trust.
I don't know about this. Feels shady to me.
It doesn't hurt to listen.
Yeah, I'd like to know how she found out about the Ragnalia.
Oh boy, here we go. Lucky for you, our captain's got a heart of gold.
Ah, so you're the captain. Shame on me for judging a book by its age.
We may be young, but we hustle hard.
Then I'll get straight to the point. You must have heard that the mutated creatures are now taking the form of primal beasts. Well, I aim to dig deeper into that phenomenon, but I need a capable team to help me uncover the truth. And I'm convinced your crew is the only one that can handle the dangers.
I see. Honestly, ever since this started involving primals, I've gotten more worried about where things are heading. Count us in.
Fantastic. Thank you. I was hoping you'd say that. As a small token of my appreciation, I'll buy you guys a nice meal. How's that sound?
Aw, that's sweet, but you don't have to.
Well, maybe I could join you instead. I haven't eaten all day. Would that work?
In that case, pull up a chair. Now, about those apple fritters.
That was so good. I couldn't eat another bite.
Okay then. I'll be waiting here if you find anything. Just be careful.
I know we've already agreed to help her, but what's the real deal with that lady?
500 years before the six dragons awakened, they had come to know wrath. It happened while the skies were still under the dominion of the Astrals. After 1,500 years of oppression, the flames of fury were sparked, eventually growing into the inferno of war. With the power of creation granted to them by their god, the Astrals manufactured weapons known as primal beasts. Their might was overwhelming. Astrals and Sky Dwellers alike believed the war would end in crushing subjugation. But miracles came to the Sky Dwellers. Warriors of unprecedented skill took to the field. Primal beasts switched allegiances, joining the mortals in rebellion. The revenant weapons were forged, each with enough might to reverse the tides of war. The Astrals' hold on the skies eroded until they were finally driven out.
Well, there were plenty of reasons for their defeat. But if I were to posit the single defining difference between the children of the stars and those of the skies, I would say it is the scope of their lives.
Astrals were so long-lived, eternity was not a dream, it was a given. On the surface, they seemed to be a perfected life form. Death was always kept at a distant bay. Without the fear of finality, they stagnated. Sky Dwellers, on the other hand, were no strangers to death. With knowledge of an inevitable end, they lived each day to the fullest. That was how, over generations, they harnessed the resplendent power of evolution. "1,500 years before the six dragons awakened, they had come to know innocence. In the far distant past, when the Omnipotent had been rent in twain, one of its two halves escaped into the Sea of Stars. This half would become known as the Astral God, and it held a terrible desire. It yearned to be reunited with its other half, the Sky God, to consume its power and return to its rightful form. Thus, the Astral God commanded its children to retrieve the traces of the Sky God lying dormant across the skies. It would become whole once more. But to do so, it would need a vessel to absorb the requisite power. The girl in blue. She was an unblemished being, created with the ability to absorb primal beasts aspected of both astral and sky, and store their powers in her body. She was not, however, created with the means to speak her heart, for astral tools had no use for mortal expression. At least, that had been the intention. But the starry-eyed girl had the ability to learn, to feel, to
Had she been nothing more than a marionette from the start, the miracle she wove with the singularity might never have quickened.
Satisfied with her tale, the black dragon lifted her gaze toward the deep blue sky.
I think we've done everything Frau asked us to do. We should go tell her the news.
Boy, she wasn't kidding when she said it'd be dangerous. We could have been toast.
Those were actual primal beasts for sure. I wonder what Frau knows that we don't.
Right then. Yeah.
Hey,
So then.
And with that, the world of memory is almost complete.
What now?
The primal beast you fought. It was a memory contained within this card. Think of them as shadows from a possible future. This is what Zega's primals could have become.
You're losing me.
Right, well, I guess it's time I explained what the world is. Let me think.
The world? Is there another world involved?
The world. It's a primal beast, and the first of its kind in a series of primals called the Arcarum. It watches, remembers, and stores information on everything it can find, even stuff that dates back to the dawn of creation.
What's the point of even doing something like that?
It's collecting data to build an entirely new world, a world completely different from the one we now live in.
Oh, this is making my head spin.
And if that new world is created, what happens to ours?
It could vanish, like a forgotten dream. But I won't let that happen. That's why I created this. This card leads to the world of memory. I believe it'll play a vital role in thwarting the world's plans. Truth be told, I needed to test you guys first. And your strength completely surpassed my expectations. I've never felt more hopeful. So please, help me put an end to the world's plans.
Wait, hold on. You're saying those weirdo versions of the primals are Ragnalian, right?
Meaning the world is responsible for creating the Ragnalia?
No, the memories in the card suggest that their origin is a separate phenomenon. One that the world is merely taking advantage of. Basically, you have this Ragnalian data that's appeared out of nowhere. Mix it with the pre-existing data from the world of memories, and voila, there's your altered primals.
It's like each new puzzle piece just muddies the waters. All I know is, we've got a primal beast up to no good, using the Ragnalia to do its bidding.
If that's really true, then we have to do something.
we'll stop it.
Great. So you're willing to help?
You betcha! So what's the plan?
First, I'll need you to gather something for me. The details are on the quest form. Once you're finished, report back to me.
Saphira luster, huh? I wonder what it does.
Let's head to the quest counter for now. And once we're done, we can report back to Frau.
Reveal the end. Show them a...
2,000 years before the six dragons awakened, they had come to know arrogance. The astral god desired the return of its other half and invaded the sky realm. The two gods of astral and sky warred, each seeking dominance over their would-be reunited body. Some astrals had realized their role as mere pawns in the invasion, to be used and discarded to further their god's supremacy, and rejected this ignoble fate. But the majority failed to grasp the god's true intentions and simply obeyed. The invasion of the Sky Realm presented the perfect pretext, after all. The base, inferior creatures of the sky needed masters, and who better to lead them? Such hubris was rife among the Astrals, but it served to unify their people toward the common goal of subjugating the skies.
The peoples of Star and Sky may have their differences, but they are one and the same. No life is more valuable.
The Sky Realm, still young and immature, could do nothing to halt the Astrals' advance. The world was devoured whole. In the wake of their conquest, the Astrals formed the Grim Basin to divide the skies and herd the Sky Dwellers. Thus, the era of Astral Dominion had begun. Their rule would continue for 1,500 years.
Rao's going to be so happy when she sees how many we've collected.
How do you do? Yeah.
Let me think.
So then.
You brought them. Thank you. The light of creation itself. It's all coming together.
Are you okay, Frau?
Oh yeah, don't mind me. Actually, there's just one more thing I'd like for you to take care of. Do you mind?
Of course not.
Great. Let me prepare some things first. Come see me again soon. When you get back, I'll be here. Promise.
Right. No way. Yeah. No way.
Ah, Captain! I've heard about your recent exploits. It's a shame about all the secrecy, but at least I can offer you my sincerest praise. Bravo!
You know it, Fix-It, dude.
What brings you here today, Rowan?
Ah, right. I have news to share. There have been some new developments related to the conflux. Perhaps you could meet me at Tradam's Sanctum to discuss it further? It's not particularly urgent, so stop by whenever you can spare a moment.
Got it. Something tells me we'll be paying you a visit soon, one way or another.
Excellent. Historieth and I will be waiting for you. Take care.
"6,000 years before the six dragons awakened, they had come to know fear. The omnipotent Bahamut struck terror into the hearts of ancient sky dwellers. It was a massive, incomprehensible beast, and it was their god. But mortals felt more than awe. These few raised their voices in rebellion, as they believed the god's downfall would lead to a golden age. Soon they engaged the deity in bloody battles, and the Omnipotent was split into two at the hands of its very children. One half became the master of destruction and rebirth, and vanished into the skies. The other became the master of creation, and ascended to the Sea of Stars. There, the Creator spent much time constructing the astral realm, transforming the Sea of Stars into a home for mortal life. Thus did it populate the stars with the Astrals. They named their maker the Astral God, and bowed their heads in reverence. As the Creator's faithful, the Astrals were granted extraordinary sagacity. Their wisdom was a reflection of the Creator's power, the ability to create from nothing. In the face of such unimaginable might, there was little wonder the budding skies fell so readily. But, by the same coin, the Astrals were not granted the desire for growth necessary to incite evolution. They had no need for it under their perfect, indomitable blessing.
The Omnipotent had once been torn asunder by mortal hands. Perhaps the half that ascended to the stars still feared the insatiable desire lurking in their hearts.
Hey, should we go see how Frau's doing? Maybe she's ready for us now.
Oh yeah, she did say to come back later, at the bar, right? I'm good to go whenever.
Bring the earth together, dissipate into the wind, and seek the heat of flames. I'm so close. I owe the crew big time for collecting so much data. All the pieces needed for the Devil's revival are falling into place.
Hi, Frau!
Hello there. Doing well?
Could be better. How about you? Is your master plan shaping up to be a world stopper?
It sure is, thanks to your perseverance. All that's left is just one teensy finishing touch. But I'm having trouble getting the materials myself. I would feel so bad adding more to your pile, though.
Nah, no worries. It'd be a waste to pack up and quit now. What you got for us this time?
Well, I'm looking for a type of jewel. They're called blood rubies. Ever heard of Point Aquila? There are plenty of blood rubies in that region. Too bad it's in another skydom. I think they're hard to come by in Zega.
That sounds like a toughie, but we'll see what we can dig up.
At least we know we're close to the finish line. Just a few more steps to go.
Yeah! So we're looking for blood rubies, huh? All we know is they're probably red.
Maybe the quest counter can point us in the right direction. The Alliance seems to know everything. Got the rubies! Let's go give them to Frau.
Sheesh, nabbing these rocks wasn't easy.
Let me think.
So then, what should I do?
Thank you, everyone. Yes, these components will act as conduits for reviving the devil.
The devil? What do you mean?
The devil is a primal beast. One of the Arcarum, to be precise.
Now hold on there, Miss Hoodie. An Arcarum? You want to bring back a pal of the world?
Wouldn't reviving another Arcaran be a bad idea?
Here's the thing. The Arcarum primals were actually created by the world for the sole purpose of making this world anew. They're unable to defy his command. But we have options, like having you form a pact with the devil.
I don't understand.
I was fine letting this world disappear. It had done nothing but wound me with hatred, neglect, jealousy, greed. There was nothing for me to love, so I answered the devil's call. The demon promised that nothing in the new world would hurt me. Even if it was a lie to earn my trust and exploit my strength, I honestly didn't care anymore. And I might have stayed on that path of self-destruction if I hadn't run into you guys. Especially you, Lyria. It's the way you always give without asking for anything in return. You're just so much like her. So much like my best friend.
She must mean a lot to you.
Anyway, the truth is, I was monitoring your battles with the Ragnalia. That's how I learned about Lyria's ability. Here's what I'm thinking. We summon the devil, but Lyria jumps in to complete the pact. That should free the devil from the world's control. I'll still be the one utilizing the devil's power. Our souls are bound to each other after all. But in theory, Lyria would actually be in control of the primal. It's just, this crew has shown me a glimmer of hope. I've been a puppet for the Arcarum for so long, but maybe even I can find redemption. I was desperate. I had been lying to myself for so long. I started to believe I had lost everyone.
We'll see this through together.
Thanks. It feels nice, having friends to support you.
Just so we're on the same page, the devil's helping us kick the world's butt, right?
You got it. And once the skies are safe again, I plan on leaving my cowardly self behind to go search for my best friend.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll make a pact with the devil.
My revival has come. A mark of gratitude I present to you, O young sky dweller and girl in blue. The fetters of my servitude lay broken. Naught remains in my breast but enmity for that cursed beast.
Are you talking about the world?
Indeed. Now I exist only to meet destruction upon him.
I knew we were the same, Devil. Somewhere along the line, I sensed how you really felt about the world. That's why I chose to trust you.
Beasts created by the hands of another beast are inherently unstable. I cannot exist unless tethered to a worthy vessel. Thus, as I am bound to your soul, your influence holds sway over me. In the black abyss of your despair, a flame ignited.
Sparked by the hopes in people like Lyria and the captain?
Precisely. He is a beast who longs to ascend to godhood. I will stop his attempt at creating a new world order. Such is my long-burning desire.
Well, there you have it. Straight from the Devil's card. We're happy to be on the team.
Welcome. Yep.
To raise a hand against your creator. How far you have fallen from grace. But it does not matter. The new world will be created. A new vessel will be found. Our time will come. We are the Arcarum. We await the appointed hour with anticipation.
A dragon of rejected causality rises like a phoenix from ash, howling with neither beginning nor end in an endless cycle of death and rebirth. This evolution, induced from and expedited beyond the natural order, was something not even her influence could contain. From this husk of despair surges only the dregs of shadow, and thus, with the ease of snuffing an ember, she begins her war. Fights the unruly shadows, a stray thought on the brilliance of evolution stirs her imagination. O child who transforms the world, what form will the skies take when the strands of destiny are pulled by the union of the wedges? Singularity, bound to the fate of the skies, they were a scent of change, born upon a gentle zephyr, and the being which strummed the very heartbeat of darkness herself.
Phew, I'm beat. I got paw cramps crossing off all these chaos-level missions.
The monsters, Ragnalia, keep getting stronger too.
Primal beast lookalikes, flocks of deadly dragons. We're overdue for a real nasty surprise.
Such as?
Well, you know, if these things keep climbing the power ladder to godhood, we'll be forever looking over our shoulder.
Oh? That protective stance you take. It suggests you two are a dyad, yes?
Dyad? What dyad?
Huh.
It appears I am mistaken. Then perhaps it is you two who comprise the pairing.
What?
Wrong again? How tiresome. I figured it out! Flying one! You are the other half of the dyad. Tell me it be so!
What? You're way off. Me and my buddy are family.
I do not understand. How does one observe couples when none exist? Future generations must be welcomed into this world to counter the threat of collapse. By that logic, one would expect to find proper dyads all over the skies. Yet reality is proving otherwise. No. Could it be?
What was that about? Who was she?
So, where were we? Oh, right! The spreading plague of Ragnalia. The decision has been made to stick the worst of the Chaos tier marks into a league of their own.
It's the perfect challenge for a certain Skyfaring crew who's earned the Fatebreaker title. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, I don't know if I should feel proud or curl up and cry.
Cheer up, Vern. Take it from me. Being top dogs of the Skyfaring world is awesome. You guys do what no one else can.
Bet I'm stronger than you now, Sophon.
I like that confidence. And with that being said, I've got a lead on the source of the Ragnalia. You leave that part of the sleuthing to old Sovon.
That's news to me. When did that happen?
Yes, sirree. No time to waste. Good luck, Captain Briggley.
Hey, wait! Aren't you going to fill me in?
"7,000 years before the six dragons awakened, did the black dragon form her first memory. She recalled a ruined world, spreading to the ends of the horizon. Shattered Earth towered into the sky. No mortal could hope to survive in these sundered lands. They were the legacy of destruction left by the ancients. Then, a colossal dragon, Bahamut the Omnipotent, incited great devastation and swept away the blighted world. It gathered the few shattered fragments of the world that had remained free from contamination and cast them into the sky, where they became as floating islands. Thus, the Sky Realm came to be, and so too did the wedges that formed its laws. They functioned as pressure that bore down on the world, shaping it. This was the true purpose of dragons. Vermilion, azure, gold, and emerald formed the foundations of the primary elements. White and black too came into being, as well as causality, void, orbit, wave, and more. Though many were lost to time, a multitude of dragons had existed in antiquity.
I, the black and wedge of darkness, govern the end of all things and the peace that comes with demise. I have seen the final flicker of many a god-given flame, as many as dot the skies.
And as those flames rose, so too their lifetimes of emotions convalesce before the wedges, spark by life-laden spark. Living mortals, tiny, fleeting embers though they were, found dyads and began to evolve. These couplings helped them resist the inevitable end, to weave the stories of their lives and proof they had once existed, to refine their existence into a rich tapestry linking to the next generation. This was their swan song, their opus.
Mortals began to call these star-crossed encounters, or births, by another word: miracles.